Webcams are rich.
Hello guys, today in this video, we are going to help you to find out the best webcams in market. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review, and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below. Number 10. Ostem AW651. The Ostem AW651 is Ostem's most recent webcam, and it makes for a more powerful yet affordable alternative to other 1080p and above webcams from major brands like Logitech. At about $10 more than the MSRP for the Logitech C920, this camera offers both 1440p capture at 30 frames per second and 1080p capture at 60 frames per second. While the camera's sensor can produce overly sharp images and it resorts to distributing clunky freeware rather than coming up with its own software, it is a technically capable device that offers a lot of capability for its price point. This camera produced bright footage with accurate colors when we reviewed it, in part thanks to its ability to capture at 1440p. If you prefer to shoot at 1080p, you can also capture footage at 60 frames per second with this device, which will be useful for game streamers. HDR is another feature here, and in a nice touch, this camera comes with a tripod and can also rotate 360 degrees. Its tilt is a bit more limited, ranging from 180 degrees when pointing down to 30 degrees when pointing up. Number 9. Elgato Facecam. Elgato's long been a contender in the streaming realm, with capture cards and stream decks that make it a popular brand among content creators, but the Elgato Facecam is its first webcam. With that comes a few first-time jitters that need to be worked out, but the Elgato Facecam still has unique advantages that might justify its lack of features elsewhere, assuming you're part of its target, hardcore streamer audience. At $199, the Elgato Facecam costs as much as the Razer Kiyo Pro and the Dell UltraSharp webcam, but it doesn't have 4K or HDR. What it does have is 1080p at 60 frames per second recording, a fixed focus lens, and live ISO information in its software. While 1080p at 60 frames per second footage isn't unique to this camera, those last two features are rare even on other specialty equipment. But if you spend hours in front of a desk broadcasting to viewers every day, they might be plenty useful for you. Number 8. Logitech Brio. The Logitech Brio combines 4K resolution with Logitech's webcam expertise. It's no surprise this webcam has been popular since it first debuted in 2017. The Brio features 4K/30 FPS resolution, 1080p/60 FPS, a 90-degree field of view, 5x digital zoom, and great image quality, color reproduction, and low-light performance. The Brio performs well, but it's no longer the only 4K webcam on the market, and more recent contenders, such as the Insta360 Link and the Lumina 4K, are able to offer better auto exposure, color reproduction, and autofocus thanks to AI-powered software tweaks. But while newer 4K webcams are looking toward streamers and content creators, the Brio is more business-focused. It includes Windows Hello support and is optimized for use with business apps such as Google Meet, Zoom, and Skype for Business. Of course, most business users don't need, and can't even use, a 4K webcam because most web conferencing apps limit output resolution to 720p or lower. Number 7. Logitech StreamCam. The Logitech StreamCam is a premium option aimed at giving streamers and other content creators everything they need in one package. The focus here is more on convenience than pure quality, however. The StreamCam is a special contender on our list in that it supports all resolutions from 240p to 1080p and is able to stream or record each at any frame rate from 5 to 60. Though most will, of course, want to use the highest setting of 1080-60 frames per second, this lets those with low bandwidth customize their usage to their liking. It also comes with a built-in omnidirectional microphone, complete with a small noise filter, as well as a white indicator LED, a standard tripod mount, in addition to a monitor mount, autofocus and exposure, USB-C connectivity, and streaming software for fine-tuning filtering and other capture details. Those who prefer vertical video can also remove the camera from its mount and physically rotate it to shoot with full HD 9:16 video. Number 6. Logitech C930E. The Logitech C930E looks a lot like the C920S Pro. It sports almost the exact same build, except its faceplate is silver instead of black. The C930E is the business version of the C920S Pro. It has the same general specs with a couple of hardware improvements, and it's also certified for use with business applications such as Skype for Business, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, Zoom, etc., though this probably meant more when the C930E debuted in 2013. The C930E has the same sensor as the C920S Pro, but it has an upgraded lens with a wider field of view, 90 degrees versus the C920S Pro's 78 degrees. This wider field of view is useful not only because it allows you to display an unnecessary amount of your home office, but also because it adds 4x digital zoom. The C920S Pro also offers digital zoom through Logitech's Logi capture software. Digital zoom is useful on a webcam because zooming in gives you some control over camera positioning, tilt/pan, which is handy if your webcam isn't ideally positioned. Number 5. Razer Kiyo Pro. The Razer Kiyo Pro is Razer's 2021 update to the Razer Kiyo, and it adds plenty of new features that will be very helpful for content creators and amateur filmmakers alike. These include HDR recording, the ability to capture footage at 1080p at 60 frames per second, a light sensor that adjusts how much light the webcam captures to make images as flattering as possible regardless of lighting, and a microphone with headset-level audio quality. All of these features come at the loss of the original Kiyo's ring light and a new $199 price tag. While the light sensor impresses enough to make the loss of the ring light sting less, that new cost limits the camera to creators who need its extra features instead of a more everyday audience. The Kiyo Pro's features can also be a touch difficult to access because you'll need Razer Synapse to change settings like field of view or how warm/cool your photos are. And to access 60 frames per second recording, you'll need to set that up separately in your recording software. Number 4. Dell UltraSharp Webcam. If you have money to spare, the $199 Dell UltraSharp Webcam is an easy frontrunner. This camera has loads of features, including 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 60 frames per second recording, HDR, and even optional AI that helps keep you in frame. It also features 3 different field of view options and lots of customizability thanks to the ability to turn on manual focus and zoom sliders. But where this camera really blew us away was on image quality. Regardless of which resolution you pick, this camera's footage looks sharp and has the most flattering lighting and colors we've seen yet. No artifacts or weird pale or yellowish tones found here. There are a few issues in the build. While the camera itself feels sturdy and looks stylish, it has a lot of small parts you'll need to swap in and out. The monitor mount and tripod mount are 2 separate pieces, for example. You can easily change them in and out since they both fit into the same magnetic slot, but once you add in a magnetic webcam cover, that's a lot of extra stuff to keep track of. Number 3. Anker PowerConf C300. Sometimes, you need a bit more from a webcam, but don't want to break the bank. Usually, recording at 60 frames per second or in HDR requires you to spend up to almost $200, but Anker's new PowerConf C300 packs those features at a much more affordable $130 price point. You'll have to deal with some laggy software to access most of them, and the included detachable, adhesive camera shutters are so cheaply made that you might as well not use them at all. But with fidelity that frequently beats the Logitech C920 and lots of customizability, including multiple field of view options, this is a great choice for those who like to tinker. There's even automatic AI framing to help you keep your shots focused on you as you move about, although it's a little tricky to actually trigger it. Number 2. Microsoft Modern Webcam. The Microsoft Modern Webcam is cheaper and more available than the Logitech C920. It also has more features and better, more accurate color reproduction than its older competitor. The Microsoft Modern Webcam's monitor mount can be shaky on some monitors, especially those that aren't flat along the back, but you can get it stable with some artful balancing. The sliding physical camera shutter gives this webcam a premium feel. The Microsoft Modern Webcam comes with an intuitive, but not particularly powerful, app that's designed to look like a Windows menu. The app is where you'll adjust most of this camera's special features, including HDR and flicker reduction powered by its ability to capture footage at 60 frames per second. This webcam's 1080p at 60 frames per second capture is a big get for streamers, especially since many gaming-focused webcams cost upwards of $100. Number 1. Logitech C920S Pro. The Logitech C920S Pro is the latest iteration of the classic Logitech C920, which originally launched in 2013. The only difference between the original C920 and the C920S Pro is that the latter comes with an optional flip-up privacy cover. Despite being almost 10 years old, the Logitech C920S Pro is a solid, consistent webcam that captures video at 1080p/30 fps and has a 78-degree field of view. The C920S Pro has a maximum resolution of 1080p, which might seem low if you've been looking at 4K webcams. But 1080p is plenty high for the average user. No video conferencing platforms allow streaming at anywhere near 4K in the first place, and many cap streaming resolution at 720p. The C920S Pro also offers decent color reproduction. Its images look a little washed out when compared with recent rivals, however, and performs acceptably in both backlit and low-light settings.